Every single day, the world consumes over 2 billion servings of Coca-Cola branded beverages. Of those, over 1 billion are bottled, creating a cascade of plastic containers that, if laid end to end, would circle the Earth 6 times. This isn't just about mixing syrup and water, it's an invisible ballet of material science and engineering, orchestrating the birth of millions of identical containers every hour, a process far more intricate and demanding than simply melting plastic. The true secret lies in a relentless, unforgiving precision at every single microsecond of its journey from raw material to shelf. This astonishing scale, this constant hum of production, makes me wonder what other everyday items hold such incredible manufacturing stories. Tell me in the comments which product you'd like to see demystified next. The journey of a Coca-Cola bottle begins not with liquid, but with tiny, transparent pellets of polyethylene terephthalate, or PET. These aren't just any plastic. They are food-grade resins engineered for strength, clarity, and resistance to carbonation. They arrive at bottling plants in massive super sacks, each holding up to 1,000 kilograms of these granular raw materials, or sometimes in bulk rail cars, ready to be vacuum-fed into enormous hoppers. This is a critical first stage, as any contamination or moisture in the PET can compromise the final bottle. Before anything else happens, these pellets are dried in specialized dehumidifying dryers for several hours, typically at temperatures around 160 to 180 degrees Celsius, to remove any lingering moisture that could cause bubbles or structural weakness in the finished product. This step is non-negotiable. Moisture turns PET brittle when heated. Once perfectly dry, the PET pellets are gravity-fed into the hungry maw of an injection molding machine. Here, the pellets are melted down in a heated barrel, often reaching temperatures between 260 and 280 degrees Celsius. A giant screw within the barrel mixes and homogenizes the molten plastic, ensuring a consistent viscosity. This liquid plastic is then injected under extreme pressure, sometimes exceeding 1,000 bar, into precision steel molds. These aren't bottle-shaped molds. They create what are known as preforms. Imagine a heavy-walled test tube with a finished threaded neck, exactly like the top of a Coca-Cola bottle. Each preform is compact, roughly a tenth of the size of the final bottle, a strategic design choice. A single injection molding machine can have dozens, even hundreds of mold cavities, churning out preforms in cycles as short as 10 to 15 seconds. This stage is paramount. The neck finish, the critical part that holds the cap, is formed here with absolute precision and will not be altered later. Any flaw in the preform, a tiny air bubble, an inconsistent wall thickness, or a microscopic defect in the neck will result in a defective final bottle, immediately rejected by the later stages of quality control. The preforms, once cooled and ejected, are often stored or shipped to bottling facilities, a testament to the efficiency of transporting small, dense plastic tubes instead of bulky empty bottles. At the bottling plant, these preforms, looking like miniature versions of the bottle-to-be, are unleashed into the next stage, the stretch blow molding machine. This is where the magic truly happens, transforming a stubby plastic tube into a recognizable Coca-Cola bottle in a matter of seconds. The preforms are first loaded onto a conveyor and sent through a series of infrared ovens. These ovens precisely heat different sections of the preform, with specific zones calibrated to reach temperatures between 90 and 120 degrees Celsius. The heating profile is crucial. The neck is left relatively cool to maintain its structure, while the body is heated to a pliable state. Too hot and the plastic sags, too cold and it resists stretching. Once precisely conditioned, each preform is rapidly transferred into a highly polished bottle-shaped mold. Inside the mold, a mechanical stretching rod plunges down, elongating the preform to its approximate final length. Simultaneously, a burst of low-pressure compressed air, typically around 5 to 10 bar, begins the initial expansion. This is almost instantly followed by a powerful blast of high-pressure air, often between 25 and 40 bar, which forces the now stretched and pliable plastic against the cold surfaces of the mold cavity. This rapid expansion and cooling gives the bottle its final shape, its strength, and its characteristic transparency. The entire blowing process takes less than a second per bottle. A modern stretch blow molding machine, a rotary beast of stainless steel and hydraulics, can feature up to 36 or even 48 cavities, producing tens of thousands of bottles per hour, synchronized to an astonishing degree. Imagine the force required to shape 1 billion bottles a day. The machinery is built to withstand immense repetitive stress. Immediately after being blown, the bottles are released from their molds, still warm, and carried on a high-speed air conveyor. This air conveyor is a silent river of plastic, where thousands of empty bottles float on cushions of air, preventing them from touching and scratching each other as they rush towards the filling hall. Before any liquid touches them, each empty bottle undergoes a meticulous cleansing. They are inverted, often gripped by robotic arms, and rinsed with a jet of sterilized water or ionized air to remove any microscopic dust particles that might have settled during the blowing process or transit. This sterile environment is paramount. Any foreign material could compromise the taste, appearance, or safety of the final product. After rinsing, a powerful blast of clean, dry air ensures every last drop of rinse water is expelled, leaving the bottle impeccably clean and ready for its contents. Meanwhile, in a separate, pristine environment, the heart of Coca-Cola is prepared. The famous concentrated Coca-Cola syrup, a closely guarded secret, arrives at the bottling plant in sealed tankers or drums. It is mixed with highly purified water that has undergone multi-stage filtration, reverse osmosis, and often UV sterilization to remove any impurities that could affect taste or shelf life. Simultaneously, industrial tanks of food-grade carbon dioxide stand ready. The chilled water, often maintained at a crisp 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, is then precisely blended with the syrup and carbonated under pressure. The exact ratios are continuously monitored by sophisticated sensors to ensure consistency of taste and carbonation levels across every single bottle in every single plant worldwide. This consistency is not accidental, it's engineered. Now, the clean, empty bottles converge with the freshly prepared, chilled Coca-Cola liquid. This takes place in a colossal rotary filling machine, a true engineering marvel. Bottles enter the filler, and as they rotate, a nozzle descends into each one, dispensing a precise volume of liquid. The filling process is designed to minimize foaming, a common challenge with carbonated beverages, by filling under counterpressure. As the bottle nears its full level, the counterpressure is released, allowing for a smooth, high-speed fill without product loss. Speed here is breathtaking. A single filler can process upward of 60,000 bottles per hour, sometimes even 100,000. It's a blur of motion, yet each bottle receives the exact same fill volume to within a fraction of a milliliter. Almost immediately after filling, the bottles move to the capping machine, another synchronized rotary unit. Pre-sterilized plastic screw caps are fed from a hopper, oriented, and then precisely applied and tightened onto the bottles. The capping torque is critical. Too loose, and the carbonation escapes, the product leaks. Too tight, and the cap can be difficult to remove for the consumer. Laser sensors verify the presence and correct application of each cap, ensuring a perfect seal. The finished product isn't quite ready yet. The bottles then pass through a labeling machine. Depending on the bottle size and market, this could be a roll-fed labeler, where a continuous roll of plastic label material is cut and wrapped around the bottle with a hot glue adhesive, or a shrink sleeve labeler, where a pre-printed sleeve is slipped over the bottle and then shrunk with heat to conform to its contours. Pressure-sensitive labels, peeled from a roll and pressed onto the bottle, are also common. Regardless of the method, the labels are applied with incredible speed and accuracy, aligning perfectly with bottle features. Immediately following labeling, inkjet or laser coders print batch codes, production dates, and expiration dates onto each bottle or label. This coding is vital for traceability, allowing Coca-Cola to track every bottle back to its production line, time, and specific ingredients, should any issue arise. Throughout this entire high-speed ballet, quality control is not a separate step, it's an omnipresent force. At various points, from preform to final cap, high-speed vision systems employing multiple cameras scrutinize every single bottle. They look for defects invisible to the human eye, microscopic cracks in the plastic, inconsistencies in wall thickness, incorrect fill levels, crooked labels, or missing date codes. A single system can perform hundreds of checks per second, comparing each bottle to a perfect digital template. Any bottle that deviates, even slightly, is instantly rejected from the line, often by a precise burst of air that diverts it onto a separate conveyor for recycling. This relentless vigilance ensures that only perfect bottles make it to the consumer, minimizing waste and maintaining brand integrity. It's a silent, automated army of inspectors working tirelessly to uphold an almost impossible standard. Finally, the perfect, filled, capped, and labeled Coca-Cola bottles are gathered. They are organized into multi-packs, 6-packs, 12-packs, or cases of 24, often wrapped in clear plastic film by automated shrink-wrapping machines. These multi-packs are then moved to robotic palletizers. Articulated robotic arms precisely stack the packages onto wooden pallets in predetermined patterns, ensuring stability for transport. Once a pallet is full, it is wrapped tightly in stretch film, creating a cohesive, robust unit. These wrapped pallets are then moved by forklifts or automated guided vehicles to waiting distribution trucks. Hundreds of trucks depart bottling plants daily, often operating around the clock, fanning out across continents to deliver their effervescent cargo. This seamless, high-speed operation, from a handful of plastic pellets to a pallet of refreshing beverages, is one of the most sophisticated examples of modern industrial engineering. The initial material cost for a single PET bottle is astonishingly low, often less than a penny, a testament to the sheer scale and efficiency of mass production. This tiny cost, combined with the continuous, unblinking precision of automated machinery, is the true secret behind delivering 2 billion bottles every day. It's not about a hidden ingredient or a magical machine, but the invisible, relentless pursuit of a process that never stops. This invisible dance of polymers and carbonation fuels a global ritual, an unbroken chain from a refinery to your hand, billions of times a day.